Well, it's 8 in the morning. We just arrived to Ladoux. We are in a beautiful place of Michelin test facility in France. We have a lovely day, and today we are going to test some tires. I'm working with different engineering teams to develop the character of the car. So with controls, with vehicle dynamics, with everybody else. If it was a kitchen, I would be the taster. So we are developing special tires for the Tourbillon. So we are searching for the best combination with Michelin. Jérôme is going to join us soon, so it's a great privilege and great honor to work with him.
My name is Jérôme Asselin and I'm a sport car test driver for Michelin company. Michelin is so proud to be partner of Bugatti, and personally it's the same thing for me because I started with the first Veyron, and after the Chiron with all the models, and now the last version, the last car with Tourbillon. They increase all parameters. In fact, they increase the power of the engine, they increase the acceleration, they increase the maximum speed, we increase the dry performance, the wet performance. For the tire, for this car is a new challenge compared, for example, to the Chiron and the Veyron. It's the reason I'm obliged to have a vocabulary and a test method for the tire designer with easy to understand. Because in fact, what we feel into a car is not magic things, it's physics.
So what we do is we start with different sets of tires that are, let's say, pre-chosen by the engineers through the simulations and also with the tire designers. That should give us the optimum balance and the optimum grip. However, we don't know how they are going to cope until we put them on the car. We need to do a validation of it. And then we combine the best set of rear tires with the best set of front tires that we find. So usually we start with 5 sets of rears, 5 sets of fronts, and then we cross-match them until we get to the optimum level. We narrowed the choice down to only 3 sets, and now we are here in Michelin. We're going to do some high-speed testing, so high-speed cornering, and also various different tracks, so it's going to be exciting. So for most people, tires are just round and black, but the design, the construction of the tire can be much different in terms of compound, in terms of structure of the tire. And that can influence the driving dynamics massively. And this is why we are going to do a lot of testing, a lot of driving at low speeds and high speeds to find the best balance and to find the perfect combination for the Tourbillon. So to get the best picture of the tire, we do a set of objective and subjective maneuvers. Objective maneuvers help you to spot the differences between the tires. You always develop things in parallel, and this is the most challenging part, because the car is, for example, in a certain maturity level, and systems are in a certain maturity level that is not optimal to choose the tire, but you need to do it because it takes some time to produce the tire, it takes some time to validate the tire on the machines. So until then, we also need to develop controls. We need to be sure that everything is working in a proper way. Yeah, the tire is the most important part. So it's a hugely complex area, and it's a black magic even for the engineers still, because everything starts with the tire. You only have 4 small patches of tires on the ground that are connecting the car to the ground. What happens there defines everything else. As a driver, for example, I need to envision how the car is going to drive in the end, what we want from the tires and how the tires will cope with this. Fortunately enough, like the safety margin is quite big, and we respect that, and we always try to keep it, because it's not just the safety of occupants in the car. It's eventually, or ultimately, it's the safety of the project. If you, for any reason, crash a prototype, it's not just material damage, you stop the project. So we need to be very, very careful what we do, but on the other side, we still need to push the limits. And finding that balance is where the experience kicks in. There needs to be a certain amount of craziness, as the positive craziness in this industry, and also to do this job, you first and foremost need to be an enthusiast, because it's long hours every single day. But it's also very exciting because no 2 days are the same. The guys are hugely motivated, they are very big enthusiasts, and they are basically the best in the business because they have a lot of knowledge, but most importantly, they have a lot of experience. They are a young team, but they went through a lot. We are not only at the pinnacle of technology, but on what's possible with the technology. So this is the limit of the tires. These are the limits of the powertrain, of the engine, of the electric motors, of the controls in general. So you are really stretching, the limits here, and we are trying to figure out where that limit is. For our customers, it's going to be safe and quick, and also amazing to explore these limits with a safety net, of course.
I'm Tomislav Šimanić. I'm head of vehicle performance in Bugatti Rimac. It is a lot of work in the virtual, and we started to do this 3 years ago on the simulator and virtual environment, and now it's actually, let's say, the last part and last stage, which is more probably the hardest one, to achieve all the targets we put on the beginning of the project. On the end, we are developing the cars for people, so we cannot develop everything with just computer technology. We need to use the drivers and engineers and have this emotional and subjective factor in the whole story.
Today was perfect. We had really nice weather. We managed to do all the stuff that we wanted to do. We ended up with basically the optimum tire that we can have at this moment. Now it's the phase that Michelin needs to supply us with these tires that we got in this submission, and we will do some more testing and we'll do some calibration of the other systems. So we need to work on the steering, we need to work on the dampers, control systems, so good days.